This week, 144 years ago, 1874, a group of people from the old city of Jerusalem wanted to expand outside of the borders, to build the fifth colony, the fifth part of the city outside of the borders. And it was Parasha Toldot, our Parasha, and they were looking for a name for the new neighborhood. And they said, let's call it Meah Shearim, after Isaac, Yitzchak in this week's Parasha, of the incredible bracha of Meah Shearim. What does Meah Shearim mean? Meah Shearim means 100-fold. Shar Shiur, 100 Shiurim. And incredibly, we learn a message from this week's Parasha, not only about the founding of Meah Shearim 140 years ago, but about what Zionism means and what the state of Israel means and its challenges today. You see, Isaac was living by Avimelech, the king of Gerar, in the area of the Philistines. And there was famine and difficulty in the land. Yet somehow it says, Vayizra Yitzchak, Yitzchak planted, Ba'aretz Hahi, in that land, Bashanahi, in that year, he planted. And what happened? Everything he planted, it says explicitly in the Psukim, it says, Meah Shearim, everything grew 100-fold, meaning the experts said they should only have one portion, and everything that he planted, the fruits and the vegetables that came, were 100-fold more than expected. And Rashi points out, what does it mean in that year, in that time? He says, in that time, says Rashi, in that place, you couldn't grow things, and in that year it was a year of famine. And even though it was such a difficult place and time to grow, Yitzchak plants 3,500 years ago, and it grows 100-fold. So too, 3,500 years later, when the early Zionists came to the land until today, this land has blossomed and has been and sings with somehow taking a barren land, even at difficult times, and making it blessed 100-fold of produce, fruits and vegetables beyond our wildest imagination. But there is a corollary. Straight afterwards, what do the Psukim say? Vayikanu bo Plishtim. Vayikunoto Plishtim. The Philistines were jealous of him. They were envious. How can it be that they lived in the same land and they could not make it sing? And yet Isaac did. And all the challenges that come afterwards, with all the be'erot, with the challenges over the wells, which all the ones that Abraham built, they would fill up with earth. These all happen as a result of this. Vayikunoto Plishtim. One man's success is another person's failure. And so too today, unfortunately, the same challenges. There is so much blessing in Israel and so much grandeur. And many are envious and jealous, which motivates so much of what happens. And I want to end and say with two thoughts. The Meah Shearim, the great book of Musar, says that the worst possible character trait is kin'ah, jealousy and envy. And he gives a reason. He says because it does nothing for the person who is envious other than destroy them from within, and does not have any effect on the person that they're envious of. Destructive for them, self-destructive, and has no positive impact in any way on the other person. And envy, therefore, of other people's success can only lead to downfall. And so I hope and pray that just like Yitzchak would bless the land through his efforts of Meah Shearim, and eventually all the struggles that he had with the Philistines, eventually they abated, and eventually he found peace of mind, as the Psukim say later in Rehovot and Beersheba, where a treaty was made and there was peace amongst them. So too we hope and pray today. They're great signs of Israel's normalization. We spoke last week about the European Judo Championships, Hatikva being sung for the first time with the Israeli national anthem, with the flag in Abu Dhabi. There's also been the last few weeks a historic visit of the Prime Minister of Israel and ministers to Oman, to the Sultanate, accepting Israel and starting normalization, all types of signs with Saudi Arabia and throughout the Gulf. And Bezrat Hashem, the envy of Israel's success will abate, and Bezrat Hashem, the Meah Shearim of blessing of 100-fold that the Jewish people have managed to bring out of this land should indeed be the blessing which spills over to everyone in this region and indeed to the entire world. Shabbat Shalom.